This is the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast.
What is up, my dudes? This is Trent with the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. I am joined by Phil, Jordan, and producer Seth. As always, manning the cams. Today's draft, we are going to have our worst things while airplane travel. Yeah. Worst things while air travel. And yeah, so we're going to do that. You threw me off with the big twisty, Phil. Thank you for that. Today's draft order will be selected by our baseball hat draft. We realized we didn't give Jordan credit for that. So the draft order will be Jordan won that draft, Team A. He had 42% of the votes. He had Marlins hat, Expos, and Diamondbacks hat. Then in second place, we had Team D, which was myself, with 30% of the votes. I had Yankees, Cubs, and Cardinals. Then Team C in third, which was Seth, with the Dodgers, Boston Red Sox, and Miami Marlins hat. Phil in last with the Boston Dodgers hat, California Angels hat with the halo. Brooklyn, sorry. And then a KC Royals hat. So that is the draft order. We're doing worst things while air traveling and while you're on a plane. And today's draft is brought to you by Manscaped. The modern man is a man who takes care of himself. Manscaping isn't just for life's special occasions. It's a requirement for optimal health, superior hygiene, and healthy self-esteem. You now have the right tools for a safe and precise grooming and hard-to-navigate sensitive areas, plus post-trimming products to help keep your dudes dry. Speaking of air travel, one of my favorite things to have while traveling is they have that toiletry bag. What is it? A travel bag, Phil? That's what it's
a travel
called?
bag, just for what it's worth.
Jordan said it wasn't a travel bag.
He said it wasn't a travel bag, but they specifically advertise it on the website as a travel bag. So I just want to be clear about that.
So one of my
and it's great. Jordan used it. He said this past weekend. Very great. I use it. Keeps everything organized. Keeps everything together. They got a lot of great stuff. Their boxer briefs are great. Whether just casual wearing or athletic wearing, whatever it is, those are good stuff.
So anyways, while flying, the crop mop is very nice. It's discreet, it's effective, it's the size of wipes, it's generous, and you have enough moisture to get the job done thoroughly. These fresh, refreshing, moist wipes were specifically designed for male hygiene and extra care. They keep you clean and refreshed while soothing. Aloe vera leaves the skin smooth and balanced. It's pretty hot here in here. We are the hottest. We are the hottest fantasy pod in the nation, and I could use some crop mops right about now. Anyways, check us.
That poor seat.
Yeah, check us out on YouTube at tffdudes, and let's start this draft off. Remind me, guys, to recap each round. Jordan, you are up first, so it's going Trent. It's going Jordan, Trent, Seth, and Phil.
There's a lot of stuff here. There's so many.
There's tons.
There's going to be a lot of honorable mentions here.
I think I'm going to take having to pay for a check a bag.
Paying to check a bag.
Especially when you don't want to check it.
And it's like outrageous too. Like $60 to check a bag.
Or if it's too heavy, then you got to pay more.
Yeah. It's just like, if it's like, hey, $20 round trip, check your bag. Okay, it's not that big. It's like, hey, we're going to charge you a $500 airplane ticket, and on top of that, it's about $670 to check their bag. It's just like, what are we doing?
The ticket price should just include the bag.
Some of them don't even include carry-on. Some tickets you got to pay for carry-on.
Yeah, like Spirit, I think you have to pay for a carry-on.
My life hack of traveling is I do not check a bag unless I absolutely have to. My carry-on, I pack that thing full.
I feel like the only time you really check a bag is if you're going on a long vacation, right?
As a dude, even I think it's easy for
I can last a week on a carry-on.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, a week on a carry-on, and if you're in a place where you can wash your clothes, you might be okay. It's a little harder for the ladies, I think. Hair products, things like that.
Yes. No, but that's not a bad one, Jordan. I just try. Personally, I try really hard to just never, ever, ever.
Some though, you do have to even pay to check for a carry-on.
Well, I think who is it? Allegiant has really cheap tickets, but they ding you on carry-on.
Yeah,
it's Spirit Airlines is I think you have to pay for water and stuff on the flight.
Maybe so.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Bad.
No, not bad there, Jordan. Not bad at all.
I feel like I could have done better. I don't know. There's a lot.
Yeah, I feel like I think you could have got that.
I just don't I don't know.
I think I have the best pick right here.
Okay.
So I'm up. The guy who reclines That's the absolute worst thing about air travel.
I was gonna say that one.
Yeah.
It's like you're sitting there, you're watching a movie on your iPad,
I
and then all of a
agree.
sudden you have this dive bomber that just lands right on your lap. And it's just like,
And your
bam,
iPad
smashes all
flies.
your stuff. Yeah, and if you got a drink or whatever, it's like, just get rid of the reclining chairs. I personally do not ever recline in chairs on airplanes.
I don't either.
I don't either.
Even when I get reclined
Phil
on.
does though.
I
huh?
definitely do.
Yeah.
Do you?
If I get
hate it. It's the
reclined
absolute
on,
worst.
I recline. If someone reclines on me, then if the
it's
person
Phil's doing
behind
the
me,
wave on the plane.
yeah. If someone's like, "Hey, why'd you do that?" I'm like, "Oh, the person above me did it. I needed a little bit more space." Complain to the flight attendant.
Well, and here's the thing, though. It's like you're gaining like 2 inches. I would almost rather them just put the seats in that 2-inch increment and just not even give you the option. Like, make it reclined already.
That's a better take.
I don't want to, be like, well, I have short legs, but it's like I don't need to have less leg room as it is. Like, it's just like there's no courtesy. They never ask like, hey, can I lean back? It's just like bam in your lap. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even think it does enough. If you sit in the very back of the plane, you don't have the option.
Yeah.
If I could like lay down flat, yeah, I'd absolutely recline, but it's not enough. It's just it's some perk they sell you about, oh, you can recline, and you're not even reclining.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's not really a recliner. It's just like
No.
Yeah.
It's just an annoyance, a nuisance. It's absolutely by far the worst thing about travel. Is the guy
I
around.
only do it if someone does it to me. And it's not
Because two wrongs make a right, huh?
No, it's because I need to be comfortable. If I'm paying $500 to fly to Arizona,
So you don't think about the person behind you?
I'm just like, you know what? I'm sorry. This is a necessary evil for my comfort. I'm moving back a little bit.
Selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I usually try to like pick a seat to where like this isn't a problem, or like I have extra leg room to where if they do recline, like I'm not like too bothered about it. Like I try to find those deals,
Like first class.
but like I'm saying, that's not always the option. Like you don't always get that option.
exit row is hard to find.
It's
Like,
true.
it's not like that's sought after. That's like it goes first class and it goes exit row.
I
Like,
will
those
pay.
are-
I will pay $60 extra for like 6 extra inches of leg room,
yeah.
especially if it's a longer flight.
Yeah, it depends how long the flight is. Absolutely. Like if I'm flying to like, Los Angeles, no, I'm not going to do it. If I'm flying, to New York or Dallas, I'll do it.
Yeah.
It just depends on flight length.
Yep.
All right, Seth, you
All
got
right,
the next
I'm
pick
going
here.
This is going to play well into our sponsor. These are the people who, or I should say men, who don't use Manscaped, and they absolutely smell.
Yeah.
That's
they
bad.
stink.
That's bad.
And I will say, I mean, I don't think I've ever sat next to a woman who smells bad, but I think it's always been a man. But I'm sure there are plenty of stinky women out there sitting on planes. I cannot stand it because that's not even the person sitting next to you. They could be in front of you. It's probably worse if they're in front of you.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's unbelievable.
It's bad. No, it makes your head
and
hurt.
I guess you could say it could even be the feet too. It's not even just
people
like,
take- oh, yeah.
it's
I'm
not
not
even
gonna
just
say
anywhere. The feet might be the worst
The
one.
feet.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know. Somebody like who doesn't wear deodorant that like just reeks is a bad deal. Like maybe they had to run to their flight and they're
Or
sweating.
they didn't
even
shower.
more.
They had to wake up early that day and they didn't shower. And it's like,
Always
come on.
shower.
Like,
Or you have like some people have the overnight layovers, and it's like they got up at it depends how long you're flying.
yeah, carry a stick of deodorant, my friend.
Oh,
Like,
you need the crop mops.
yeah.
it's true. If people all just had personal hygiene, I think flights would be. And this hasn't happened to me in a long time, but I remember I was absolutely miserable for about 6 hours because and I couldn't sleep. It made me so angry.
Yeah. No, it's pretty
I
bad.
could not sleep because I was like, what do I do? Did I suffocate myself? Like,
Yeah.
Why don't you should just got your carry on it. You bring your
I
toiletry
seriously
bag.
thought
You have
about
your-
telling this person, you smell.
Did they? Where were they?
It's not
Sorry,
like you're
where
gonna
were they
see
in
him
the row?
again.
Actually, there's a middle seat between us, but like
Oh,
they were
that's
like
bad.
sitting
That's
like
bad.
they were like sitting like with their arm up, and I could the waft. It was like wafting,
You asked for a mask.
I wish this was during COVID because I would have wanted a mask.
No, because they
Like guys, I legit like had my shirt up over my nose, like trying to hint to this person,
Oh,
you
yeah,
smell
yeah, you
terrible.
Why don't you just complain to the flight attendant?
What do they? What do I do?
Can you give this guy some deodorant? He really smells.
no. What you need is like
I don't know.
no.
It
That's
was
pretty bad.
and that's speaking from personal experience. I was gonna go with Trent's pick, but the
That's an
body odor
assault
it's
on your
happened one
nostrils.
time, and it really annoyed me. And if it happened again, like I don't.
What would you do different? Tell
I
us,
think
what
I
would you
might
do
tell the
different?
person like, "Hey, you smell,"
Yeah.
and just not care.
But do it in a caring
I
way
think
so
the
they
best
think you're
part is,
caring.
I think it's
about
way
them.
cooler just to tell a flight attendant, hey, can you really, the guy next to me really smells.
No, that's a total rat move. I think Seth.
I think you go straight to the
Rat
source and
move.
say
Yeah.
you smell.
Yeah, that's a rat move.
Go to the
You
source.
just gotta be like, hey, brother, like, hey, or
Hey.
sister,
You reek.
hey, brother, like, you,
Hey, bro.
hey, my, like, dude, hey,
Hey,
man. I'm
get
just telling you
your-
because I care about
Hey,
you.
you pig. You smell.
Get your toiletry bag out and just hose them down with that Axe body spray you always use.
Assault him?
Yeah, he's assaulting your nostrils. I
Yeah.
said that earlier.
True.
All right.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
So if Seth said stink, and I wanted to say
that was kind of left field. I didn't see that one coming.
but it's a
right
good
there.
one. It's a good one. If I say people who take off their shoes, that's
I
also,
guess I think it's the same thing because it's the smell. People who smell is my
because I've asked someone. There was someone sitting next to me and my wife before we had children, and he took his shoes off, and like I was like, can you put your shoes back on? Like I just was like, I'm not gonna fly next to you with your shoes off. And he's like, these are clean socks, and I was like, I don't care.
What about?
You might be a demon for
Yeah, no,
complaining
what
about
about-
that.
No.
Do they smell?
Did it smell?
And we were 5 minutes into the flight, and the dude kicks his shoes off. His dogs had to be sweating. Like, why do you take your shoes
did they
off?
smell? That's the deal.
No, I didn't want to be in
Not
a
all
situation.
feet are even.
I didn't want it to be, 3
If my
hours
feet don't
over.
smell, I have taken my shoes off because I know they don't smell.
I don't want to be 3 hours over the Midwest and then be in Seth's situation where I'm like, this guy's now asleep. Am I going to wake him up and be like, hey man, your feet smell. Put your shoes back
That's
on.
when you just destroy him with your pillow and it's like, I don't know, bro. I was asleep too.
I would not have done that, but I'm just saying, like, I was kind
Guy
of
would
like,
have messed you
I
up
was,
probably.
I was like, hey man, like you got to put your shoes back on. Like, and he was just like, all right, totally cool. I'm like, thanks man. I appreciate it. Like I did it I approached him in a way that was very
He's playing footsies
non-confrontational.
with you.
Yeah. I'm just like, you can't take your shoes off. Like I have a problem with people wearing flip-flops on the flight.
Well,
Because
see,
of-
there's a lot of
That's
people
not
wearing
that bad though
flip-flops.
because they're not gonna. Their feet won't smell.
I wear
probably.
flip flops on the airplane. It's almost all I wear is on the airplane.
I feel like that's
flip-flops.
worse because then you're going into like,
This guy goes through TSA barefoot.
Yeah, but I doubt for
I do.
Jordan's feet smell though with flip flops. You know what I'm saying? Because they're already airing out before.
yeah. But then we're not gonna go into that.
So what are you going with here, Phil?
And so I can't say people who take their shoes off, right?
I guess you could.
I think you could.
I think you could, but I would say
He
the
doesn't
smell.
care about ton of the smell for him.
Okay,
It's
hold on.
just-
I'm gonna go with something different.
Yeah, if you don't
Yeah,
care
yeah,
about the smell, go.
Yeah,
with it.
you're
go
just,
with- I'm gonna
it's
go
a
with-
hygiene of like for them to not give you athlete's foot or something.
No, I'm gonna go with if you have someone kicking your seat. Kicking your seat or someone who
Yeah, it's
is
good. I was
constantly
gonna-
getting
I
up
was
and
gonna say
bumping
that
your
right
seat.
now.
So
Yeah.
it's like
Kicking
seat
the seat's the
kickers,
worst.
people who bump, or people who are like they're like typing and they
Ooh,
have and
typing, ooh.
You get what I'm saying? Like they're working on like an Excel sheet behind.
the problem
you.
is,
You're
I feel like everyone has like
You feel the
headphones now,
vibe.
so don't
You'd
hear
be
as
using
No, you
any
feel
sort of
it.
movement on your chair that is
Yes.
not caused by you.
Correct. Yes. Where it's like I have not like I just asked a guy to put his shoes on. Like if it was depending on how bad it was, I might just be like, hey, like you're really like bothering me. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I actually think people who recline are not as bad to people who are constantly hitting up against your seat. You know what I'm saying? This can happen at church too. I've had a little kid kick my chair at church. You know what I'm saying? Like
And you're like,
I just turn around like, hey, can you please stop? But like, I'm just saying, like, people who kick your chair, nudge your chair, all of that stuff, you just can't do it. Like, that's.
and it's not like
airplane
it's an
etiquette.
accident one time. It's like it happens like, and you're just like, have they got the hint yet?
No, and it's really a parenting thing. Usually, it's just like a little kid swinging their feet, and then they happen to kick it. But if that was my kid, I'd be like, hey, hey, so and so, you can't do that. That's rude.
Don't kick the seat.
Don't kick the seat.
It's fair.
Not bad. So to recap round one, Jordan has paying for a check bag. I had recliners. Seth had sitting next to someone who stinks, and Phil had seat kickers. And today's draft is brought to you by Underdog Sports. Underdog is the easiest way to play fantasy sports. Draft your team and forget it. No setting lineups or trades. It's the dude's favorite place to play best ball and all other kinds of DFS games. Enter dudes and they will match you up to $100. So again, download the Underdog app on your iOS or Android device. Enter dudes, and they will match you up to $100.
Trent's yawning there a little
round two. Well, I'm drinking this, carbonated water, and I'm trying not to,
There's no
burp.
caffeine in it, huh?
I know, but I'm not trying to. I'm trying not to burp. That's the problem. Like, I feel like that's bad etiquette. So, anyways, no, I'm having fun on this draft. So, round two, Jordan, you're on the clock. What are you taking?
Oh man, I'm gonna go with. I hate this. I know Trent does it, so I'm. the people who
No, Trent does it.
the people who like get up the moment,
Yep.
get out of their seat
Yep.
the moment the plane parks on the
Trent
gate,
definitely
like,
does. With a look
I
on
does
his
that.
face.
It's just it's like why? Like,
And what's
like,
worse
you're gonna
is he's
get
in
out?
the middle of the plane. So like, and you already know he's gonna be the last, like
It's
one of the
just
middle
like,
people
dude,
to get
what
out.
do you
Yes.
like? Why? What is the point staying up the moment the plane stops?
I want to
It's like,
stretch.
Stretch and then sit down.
Yeah.
Okay, standing up, I don't mind if you stand up and you're still in your seat. Like, if you're staying up in the
People that
plane in
get
your
out in
seat,
the row?
but they're getting out in the aisle and they're starting to grab their bags. It's like, what are we doing, people? Like, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I
Just
do it.
chill.
We're still taxing, basically.
Yes.
I do it because I think that maybe it'll make the people in front of me go faster. Maybe it'll.
So you just
nudge
gonna,
them.
No,
you end up
it
standing
doesn't
there
work
for
like that.
8 minutes, like with your bag, like they're just standing right here, cramped in the middle aisle for like 8 minutes.
That's
waiting
the
for
longest
them.
workout he probably has the entire
And then
week.
he watches the people in front of him still go in front of him.
Yeah, no, they probably
Actually, the
delay a little bit.
last flight I went on,
Or are you the guy Trent, that runs down the aisle? And
I
just
actually
makes
no
people-
actually
front of people.
I was in Dallas Airport my last flight, and I was gonna miss my flight. I had 15 minutes to make it to my next flight, and you taxi forever at that DFW, and I actually asked people like, "Hey, can I? My flight's leaving in 10 minutes." Can
That's
you
a little
and
different.
they
That's a
all
little
let
bit
me go up,
different,
and I
yeah.
made my flight.
That's different than just like trying to bulldoze your way through the crowd.
That is different if you're being polite
So
about it.
so here's the thing, like if I do
Which
it,
shocks me that he was. Just
me
for what it's
too.
worth.
it helped that the person behind me was also going to Fresno.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going to Fresno. Can I go in front of you? I'm like, hey, me too. And I was like, we're in this together. We gave a quick fist
were like the
bump,
fullback?
and we were just like, yeah, it's like, follow me.
Yeah. You were like all
I'll see you in the end zone.
Trent was the
Basically.
fridge.
Yeah.
Basically. But here's the deal, though, Jordan. You
I can't stand it,
You
though.
can save time. Sometimes there's an elderly
there's no-
person.
there's
No,
no
sometimes there's an
time
elderly
saving.
person. You hop.
It's
them.
milliseconds.
There's no
it's
time.
milliseconds.
Yeah, sorry, I don't like being on airplanes. I try to get off as fast as humanly possible.
95% of the time, it does nothing for you.
Yeah, 95.
But that
Let's go up
10%,
one
that
more.
10%,
Oh, did you
okay,
say-
5%.
No,
You shouldn't do it
100%.
unless you're in a hurry and
There's
if you're
no-
being polite about it.
No,
Well, I'm in
yeah.
a hurry to get things done.
Yeah.
I just think it's just
Just sit
crazy.
for your
People just
next-
like stand up. They'll stand up for 8 minutes just in the waiting in the
You
aisle.
have to put pressure on people to hustle.
No,
like, why
you
does it
don't.
take people so long to get off
It
an airplane?
has nothing to do
It
with
shouldn't take that long.
But Trent, you can't get off the airplane for like another 8 minutes, 10 minutes after it parks. So you're just standing there for no reason. Are you
Maybe
gonna force
the flight attendant should open the door faster. Like, hey, these people are ready to rumble. Like, open the door.
Because I'm sure that works every
Yeah,
time.
I'm sure they care about you in a hurry.
Well,
or
you
not.
have to put pressure on people, guys. You can't just, hey, just sit there and, just take it, I guess, then. You know what I mean? Like,
Trent's-
I'm trying to change
Trent's,
it.
promoting peer pressure.
Yeah, you guys
Sit
are
there
just
and
like,
take it.
yeah. That's you guys just like, hey, yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm trying to, like, make this place more efficient.
You
Yeah,
don't.
by-
You're
by
making it
about
less
less
efficient.
efficient.
You're actually making it less efficient by your actions.
I would
It's
love to
actually
see a
true.
study on that. No, it's not.
Unless you're at
Yes,
the
it
front of the
is.
plane, you are clogging.
You
the
are
gap.
telling the people
Like,
at the front to hurry up, and a lot of times sometimes people be like, "Hey, you in a hurry?" And I'm like, "Sort," and they're like, "Just go." Like, if you are standing,
because they don't want you
fact that
breathing
they
on them. You're the guy that Seth's talking about.
yeah.
But you clog it up for everyone else.
Sorry, I'm a go-getter. Like, I'm getting things done, Phil. Like I said, like
Trent's
You
the
said
kinda
you
guy,
hated
too, to,
people
like-
who recline because they put you like they're putting you out.
reclining is
You
way
are
worse than
no,
people standing up on
no,
the plane. How does that affect
absolutely
you?
not.
Me standing up on a plane.
It's bothersome.
Whether I get out the same time if I sit down or not. How
Phil,
does that
why don't you
affect
just
your
stand
life?
up
Clog
next to
the
Trent
middle of the
and
aisle.
put your hip straight to his elbow, and just as we like, Trent, this is what it feels like when you stand up and you
Yeah.
stand in the row in front of you
Yeah.
with your bag,
Yeah.
and your
And that's the
butt is
worst
just
part.
like about 2 inches from their arm.
Yeah.
This is a family
The
That's how
bag.
they feel.
The bag. They have the bag right there, and it's like,
Yes.
dude, you're in my seat. Like,
Yeah.
your bag is in my seat. I couldn't even sit down. I'm standing up in my seat. I couldn't even sit down if I wanted to because you got your bag in my seat. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's move on.
I don't know.
Trent,
yeah.
take a pick here.
Yeah. You're
All
wrong.
right, I got the second pick, and I think there's a pretty good one right here. Honestly, I am going to go with TSA.
Okay.
TSA is the worst.
I don't think TSA is that bad
I don't
anymore.
know.
I still don't think.
I think it used to be bad, but
Which
I don't
part
think
of
it's
it,
that
though? Which
bad.
part of
TSA
it?
is bad. Half of them say you can leave your laptop in your bag, and the other half say no, take it out. Like it's all
I know it's hard when you can't read the signs.
There's no
Life is hard.
No, I'm TSA pre-check, so I don't I'm kind of like elite at the airport.
So
like, that's
how
why
is TSA?
No, because sometimes
this is so backwards. This is coming from the guy who hates Tacomas, man.
Yeah,
sorry, we're not privileged enough to be.
No, these TSA rules need to be like nationwide, like how they work.
It depends on who has the equipment.
Yeah, no, sometimes they'll be like, hey, there'll be a sign that says, like, take laptops out. Last time I was at the airport, take your laptop out. I go take it out. Oh, no, sir, you can keep it in. Why do you have the sign up? Oh, we aren't doing that today. Like, there's no, like, they're all different. They all go to the beat of their own drum.
There needs to be some more consistency.
Yes. And hey, here's the deal. I fly 18 times a year, 20 times a year. Can I take a stinking water bottle on a plane? Like, what am I going to do? There should be something that I can bring my own water in. That I don't have to pay $9.50 for a 16 ounce of water.
Well, you know, Trent,
TSA is the biggest jerks out there. I've been wanting to make them my diva of the week, and I've also wanted to make recliner people my diva of the week, but I knew this draft was coming up. So I have a lot of pent up rage about this.
You know, Trent, because you know what happens if they let you on your 19 time? Some guys can take advantage of that. In the 19 time, they're going to have a water bottle full of like poison
or vodka.
I don't think they care about the vodka.
So a guy who just flies for 19 times all of a sudden has a bottle of poison on the 20th flight.
That's probably how it works.
I don't know. All I know is they implemented all this stuff.
They implemented all this divas for trying to protect Trent from dying.
No, it's so overblown. It's so over. No, it's
Trent's
so overblown.
so mad he can't bring his razor blades in.
But if you have a child, you can bring a bottle of water in. There's no paperwork or anything. Like, it just needs to be the same rules for everyone. I can bring a bunch of gushers.
Wait, hold on. What did you say? You can't what?
If you have an infant on there, you can bring a bottle of water for formula.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? How do we know that maybe the mom, doesn't have a bottle of poison for the whole plane?
Usually we can assume safely. Yeah, no. I mean, I think there needs to be some consistency.
There needs to be some consistency.
And some people, the power gets to their head a little bit.
I didn't know that there was a lot of people on this pod that were TSA.
I just don't really have a problem when I go through TSA. Like, I kind of just.
Trent, I remember when you didn't have to take your shoes off. You still have to take your shoes off. Now you do.
But usually I have my shoes off, ready to go. And
hey. You can just bring an empty water bottle and fill it up in the drinking fountain.
Yeah, everyone knows how good airport water tastes. It tastes like garbage.
I'm sorry we're not all like high maintenance like you.
That is pretty high maintenance.
No, but here's the thing. They implemented all these TSA rules after 9/11, and then they never went back. They acted like that was a wartime thing, that they were going to get rid of all these things. No, they just keep it forever. So like the shoes, whatever.
Sounds like, are you against do you want the Twin Towers to get bombed again, Trent?
No, I don't, but I think there could be some common sense for this TSA stuff. Like, these are the people that, these are just people that want to be, called? They're just,
I think
power trip people.
I think you're allowed to be more mad at the random checks they do. Like, if they pull you aside and they random check you for 10, 15 minutes, I think you're allowed to be mad at that.
You know why I got TSA pre-checked? Because I flew 4 times in a row and got random checked 4 times in a row.
Maybe you should look in the mirror.
Yeah, I don't know. So now I'm TSA
dog treats in his luggage.
Now I'm TSA pre-checked.
They know Trent can hide things.
Watch me win this draft. No one likes TSA.
I just don't think TSA. 10 years ago,
you could have got that in the last round.
Trent screams smuggler.
10 years ago, the TSA sucked, but I feel like it's gotten so much faster and easier.
It has.
When you fly out of Chicago or LA, it's a lot different than Fresno. You know what I'm saying? Fresno's easy. Fresno's easy. Yeah.
I haven't flown out of Fresno in years. LA's not that bad anymore. You just go right through.
It's not.
It's pretty fast.
San Francisco's fast.
You don't have to get there 4 hours ahead.
I promise you, no one in TSA listens to this pod. No, those aren't our people. TSA people, no one likes
is not the worst waiting in line in the airport.
TSA people.
No, it's not.
There's something else that's
moms
way worse
don't even
than
like
TSA.
them.
The bar.
No,
The bar.
I'm not going to take it, but if someone else, I think, yeah.
All right, so I took TSA there. All right, Phil was going to say, people who don't like TSA. It's not even Phil, but it's okay.
I might take this one, actually. I don't know.
I am going to say, when you're doing a red eye or an overnight flight or any time where it's supposed to be dark in the plane and people have their light on.
Yeah, that's a good one, Seth.
And it's not the dim light. It's the bright light.
Seth might win this one.
It's 1 a.m. and you are freaking reading a book. You're reading a freaking book?
Maybe they're from a different
what time?
time zone.
Or in the middle of the night, you're reading a book.
What's wrong with that?
If it's 3 a.m.
What do you mean? What's wrong with that? If I am your middle seat passenger next to a window guy with their light on, you definitely know that light is shining on my face, not just your book. It's my face.
That's worse than the people who read.
So you are discouraging reading.
No,
I'm discouraging people
How do you
reading
not see
during
this?
nighttime.
Yes, yeah, no, I agree with Seth.
What if some
100%.
people can't sleep on the plane?
Be courteous.
Or even the early morning flights when they open up the window and the sun's just blasting through.
Yeah, that's
when
bad
it's like, hey
too.
man, just leave it down so we can all try and
I
pass
think
an
that's
hour
worse.
or so. You think that's worse?
Yeah.
I think they're about.
I think it depends on how tired I am. Like if it's 3 a.m. and the light's still on, I could probably fall asleep. But if I want to fall asleep at say 11 or 10 and the light's like, I'm just like, dude, like, are you ever going to turn it off?
Yeah, you got to ask those questions.
I think what I would rather do is just stay up until the light comes off and then I'll go to sleep.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to try to like close my eyes or just be like.
Are you one of
It'd
those
be like
guys
me
that
trying to
wears the
sleep with
mask?
this giant light in here.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I could do it probably.
Yeah, at 3 a.m.
No, I could probably do it.
I'm not.
You could do it right now.
Probably.
I have trouble sleeping anywhere but a bed. Like I'm not one of those guys that can just knock out in a chair.
Are you going to read a
know,
book though, Trent?
with
With the light on? Or are you going to pull out your iPad or like a screen?
I've seen you fall
phonics.
asleep.
I don't have a problem with a
I
screen
have
or an
to be laying
iPad because
down.
those can dim. Like those are kind of courteous for like the condition. But the light with the book is just like baffles me.
I've seen Trent fall asleep. On the floor like this.
I have to be laying down.
I've seen Trent fall asleep in a bus. So
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
I know you can sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a 36-hour bus ride, so you kind of have to fall asleep. But like
We're talking about situations where we're
flight.
traveling.
That was flight or fight. You know, like I was just like I had to do it. You know, like an airplane. Problem with sleeping on airplanes is you lean back and then all of a sudden your neck hurts for like 3 days because you're. I don't have a fuzzy neck pillow like you, Seth. Do you travel with one of those?
No, I just sleep.
Yeah, people who. Yeah, I agree with Seth. Honestly, I
thing
think
is, like-
Seth has a good list. His is better than mine. I agree with all of his.
For what it's worth, it's been a long time since that happened. In my last overnight flight, I did get to sleep in like one of those like really nice recliner ones. That was nice.
Yeah, that's sweet.
So, but that did bother me. That one time that person read a book.
Nice,
and I was
nice
just
flex
like,
there, Seth.
Yeah.
It's true. Happened one time, but it annoyed me.
The best thing about
'Cause
flying.
that person did not sleep, and I didn't either because of that stupid light.
Yeah.
All right, Phil.
This
This
one's not even that big of a deal, but I think it should be everyone's pet peeve on a flight because these are just the people. They're the same people who do what Trent does when they stand up really quickly. People who clap when the plane lands.
No, that's not real.
People
don't do
Yes,
that.
yes, they do. They
Oh
do.
my God.
I love those people. I
No,
won't start it,
yes.
but I will help. I will help.
No, those people are annoying.
I can't believe those people are real.
Yes,
to be
they're
honest with
real, and they do.
They're
ask
real,
me-
all right.
Trent's
It's
one
like,
of them.
thank you for doing your stinking job.
Yeah. Hey, guys, we live in 2023. Like, they've been flying planes for close to 100 years, if not over 100
Hey,
years.
do you
We don't
value-
have to clap when they
You
land.
have a higher chance of getting struck by lightning.
No,
Then
here's
yes,
the
then
deal.
having a
Do you guys value
like
your
that.
life? Do you value your life?
I do, but I also
So hey, when a guy lands a plane, no one in here can fly a plane.
There's kind of a
Trent.
difference, though.
I am more likely to die getting in my car and driving the 5 minutes home
If
than
someone
I am to die
wants
in
to
a
be
plane.
thankful for a plane landing,
No.
hey, you know what a good
Those
flight is?
people
A
are the
flight that
worst.
lands.
Okay.
you know what
people
you
are
do,
the
Trent?
worst.
I'm gonna drive home when I live about not
gonna
even
clap.
half a mile. I'm gonna get out of my car and be like, I made it.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I think
made
it's
it.
a miracle every time you make it home driving.
If you clap in a plane lands, you should clap every time you get out of your car. And get to your
Yes,
spot.
100%. It's just because you paid $500 to get from point A to point B doesn't mean you have to clap when you get there. You know what I'm saying? It is ridiculous. No, hear
People
me
make
out.
flying. It's not bad. Like it's safe.
And especially when there's no turbulence. I can see, like, I've been on some flights where the turbulence has been like, I'm like, man,
Phil's pants are
I
wet.
wish I would have had a will. You know, like my
His pants are
You
wet.
just said the odds of you dying in a plane crash are super low, but you're like, the moment there's turbulence, I'm scared.
No, this lady next to me who was like, she was like, don't worry, like I used to be a flight attendant, or excuse me, I used to be able to fly planes, and like, just think of it as like being on a. I used to fly planes. Like, just think of it, or I used to have my pilot's license. Just think of it as a bumpy road on a bus, and I'm like, yeah, but on the bus I can jump out of the bus. Like I can't jump out of this plane.
you ever heard of a parachute?
and survive? But anyhow, like people, and if there's turbulence and like maybe one or two people claps, it's not going to be the end of the world, but it will nearly ruin my day if it is a perfect flight and someone starts clapping on the plane. Like,
and it's like an hour flight.
yes,
Ruin your
yeah,
day.
we're flying from Portland
I
to
wish
Seattle.
I had your
like-
problems, Phil.
Those people are the worst.
This is Phil trying to talk up his draft pick better than what it is.
No, those are my
This is like Raider fans when they draft somebody that's no good.
I think Phil's going to get last for like the 8th draft in a row, and it's still funny.
This is
But you know those people are terrible, right?
It hasn't happened in a while.
I don't think there's been a bad pick in this draft, but I know you guys love TSA, so you probably don't agree with me. So
people who clap on a plane, it's like, what are we doing here? They should get their
the fact that we've had to fight Trent on every one of his picks is just sad.
Yeah, no. It's because the guy likes being contrary.
I think there's some weird people on the flight that Trent takes 15 times a year. I know you take the same flight 15 times a year, so
yeah, but
there's probably some weird people on that flight, maybe.
Him included.
Yeah.
He's the leader of that pack.
There's like standing up and one other person on the plane.
Standing up early, like
we're gonna find he started a cult out there or something. Like it's like him and a bunch of friends.
I'm gonna make a shirt for our podcast.
That's probably why he's been random
I stand on planes. I stand for landing. I don't know.
Yeah, no, don't make the shirt.
I clap for takeoff.
I clap on landing.
I got a nice dude shirt here. Go check it out on our website at thefantasyfootballdudes.com. Check out our store. Phil, I can't believe you hate people who clap. It's stupid. It's probably because people don't clap enough for you. Like the fact that you can put a cognitive sentence together. I should clap for you, or that you can read a book.
It's just ridiculous.
So anyways, the thing that's way worse than people who are clapping are those fantasy football leagues out there that do not have a trophy. They don't have a belt. They don't have a group text. Maybe they, so take your fantasy league to the next level, guys. Go to trophysmack.com/dudes for 15% off your order. And Trophy Smack, they have all kinds of different trophies there. They got unicorns, they got footballs, they got cups, we just had a sweet belt that's coming in that Seth will be wearing in our next draft.
Yes, sir.
You might have already seen it in last Monday's pod, but check them out, trophysmack.com/dudes. Take your league to the next level. Maybe you've seen Trophy Smack on Shark Tank. It is the official trophy sponsor of your favorite dudes. Final round, but before we get into the final round, let me recap round 2. Jordan had people who stand up. I had TSA. Seth had people who keep their light on at night, and Phil had people who clap. So, Jordan, what are you going to take here with your last pick?
The middle seat.
Middle seat. That's pretty good. That is pretty
When you
good.
have to sit there, or just the fact that there is a middle seat?
Well, I mean, the fact that there's both, but really when you have to sit there.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, the middle seat is better or worse depending on who's sitting next to you on both sides.
Yeah.
It's true.
Like if you have a chatty Cathy,
yeah, there's a couple of reasons why. The person who talks the whole time is brutal, but also
I could see Trent doing that, honestly.
Not trying to be mean, but the size of the person.
See, that was gonna be my next pick.
Is what?
I have to do large people on airplanes.
You still can't.
I still might do it.
Because the people on, it's brutal,
Yeah.
Some flights,
and sometimes you don't get the armrests. If they're taking both of them, you are stuck with no armrests.
That
unless you fight them for
it's a battle for the armrest. If that person goes up for the bathroom, you're like, slide
we're
down in there.
mine.
So my worst.
When you get in, you got to set your arms.
It's mine.
My worst experience
You
flying.
feel like you win.
Yeah, and you're just battling it out,
And you have to pee so bad.
Yeah.
You want that armrest.
You're just
These guys are over here playing, elbow wars.
Worst experience flying was.
Dude, you have to fight for that. It's kind of
Let Jordan
takes a little bit of
talk.
no.
I think mine is worse than your light. I had to go on a red eye from LA to London, and I was in the middle seat. My dad was to the right of me, and I don't want to be a jerk here, but I'm sitting there, and a large.
Are you really gonna make fun of your dad right now?
No, not my dad.
Oh.
A larger human being is walking by, and I didn't realize this till later. He goes, "Is anyone sitting here?"
That wasn't his seat?
I was in my head, I was at first I was just no. And he sat down. And then I look, and behind me, there's 2 girls in the row behind me.
Oh,
and
you
the
should
same aisle seat was empty on the row behind me. The guy looked at that aisle seat and said, I don't want to sit next to these 2 girls. I don't know if he has. I don't know. I don't want to go into.
You should have swapped him. The old Yankee swap.
And in my mind, I realized this wasn't his seat, because that's why I asked someone was sitting here. And so I sat for
But
a
also,
whole 10
why
hours
were you not
overnight.
sitting in the spot that he asked? Is someone sitting there?
That's what I want to know.
Because like I was trying
what was
to
wrong
be-
with these girls?
No, yeah, number one. Number two,
Wait, what?
no, I mean, Trent's good follow-up question. But I'm saying, like, if
I was sitting in the seat that was assigned on my ticket.
you never do that. You literally never do that, Jordan. If you go in with somebody and you know, like, you're flying together, you always
Fight or flight.
you assume there's an empty seat between you or an empty seat in your row, and you sit at the edge. And that way, the person who even has
Edge
a
of
ticket,
glory.
Nowadays, you
they
can
will
pick your
look.
seats and you can see which seats are open.
Yes,
too.
correct. But this is back in the day. But even still, you always just assume that no one else is going to sit there, and you sit on the window side.
You know what? That's
You were a novice.
At life.
well,
I can't believe you didn't do that. You travel all the time.
yeah, I just it didn't really occur. You know, it
16
was like,
hours in, he's like, I maybe should have sat next to the girls behind me. You know?
Oh, that would have
You
been
do
much
a-
better.
Yeah.
Would it?
Oh, for sure.
You have to do the quick
Trent,
eye test. Just
Trent.
look at body mass.
I'm just being honest. Like sitting next to, when you have about 600 plus pounds on a combined 600 plus pounds on both sides of you,
I know. That's why
and
you
the
have
left was about 400 pounds of that. It's not fun, Trent. Overnight, 10 hours. I'm like this in the middle
trust
of.
me,
I'm like trying to.
my pick is fat people on airplanes. That's where I'm going with my
Okay,
pick.
yeah.
And here's the thing: I'm a larger guy, so it's like it's fine if I were to sit like by Seth. Like that's fine. You know what I mean? Maybe
Like
I feel
he's
a
your
bit better.
cousin.
But like me,
But if Trent sits next to a guy larger than him,
no. Like I don't want to sit next to someone over 230 pounds on an airplane. Like it's just like, you know what I mean? So like I am coming at this, and this pick's gonna win me the draft, by the way.
I feel like we're
No
sitting
one
in an
wa-
airplane
Yeah,
right now, just for what it's worth.
but you know what I'm saying? Like not to cut Jordan off there, but like, yeah, if I'm a larger guy, I can say this easily. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to sit by another guy big. So it's like, yeah. So
Guy or gal.
it's one thing to be like when it's the two. I prefer two seats, like the middle seat.
Yes,
I always
100%,
I always
100%.
sit aisle. I do not ever sit window. I want aisle so I can get up and stand up as soon as the plane lands. Of
course.
But anyways,
The guy I was talking about should have bought 2 plane tickets for what it's
yeah,
worth.
no, like I know what you mean.
and
Like,
rolled up that middle bar and
Yes.
sat right
Yep.
in the middle.
I love how he chose to sit by you, though.
what do you talk about? See, I
Talk
talked
to anything. It was 11 o'clock at night. I wanted to go to sleep.
Did he sleep?
Did you use him as a pillow?
He was. Yeah,
He
he
might have been a
cozy?
combination of like all of these divas, or basically all these picks.
This guy was up there.
So
Smelled probably.
you have to like do the simple, like, you know, you have to observe the situation. You know, like what's the problem? How can I fix the problem?
Next time, lie.
Then you know, what's it called? Just make it happen. You know, so you have to look for open seats. I'll even like look for open seats, even if it's just like whatever. I'm always looking, you know, to better myself on flights. You know,
100%.
like if I can move up 2 spots, I'll
Absolutely.
do that or something like that. You have to, you know,
For what it's worth, that plane was like packed full to the brim.
well, not right behind you, but
I think that was like the one open seat on the whole plane, right?
Why
Like,
didn't you just get up
Why
and
not,
move?
like,
Why
yeah,
didn't
like,
you get up and move?
they turn off the airplane light and you can get up and like change seats.
One of those
sometimes.
girls could have been your soulmate, Jordan. Now we never
True,
know.
we'll never know. It's
true, you
I
never
talk
know.
to people on airplanes. I've exchanged phone numbers with people on airplanes. Like I make lifelong friends when I fly. Like people love flying with me that don't know me. You know,
You had a great Van Der Esch story that you never told.
I ran into a guy. It's true. I was on an airplane. The guy had a Boise State shirt on. I said, hey, I'm a Fresno State fan. We started talking. I said, hey, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, so I like Leighton Van Der Esch. He's like, my son went to the rival high school of Leighton Van Der Esch, 8-man football. Like, cool. Yeah, I know he played 8-man football. He's like, you know why he got recruited? Said, no, because he's good at football. He's like, no. They didn't notice him until they saw how many people he was putting in ambulances every game. And I was like, okay. Just seemed like I don't know if that was true or not.
No,
It was
definitely not true.
This was just, you know, a mountain
I mean,
man.
he
you know,
also
like-
might have been a mountain man playing little boys in
Oh,
Indian
yes,
football
for
and
sure.
killing them.
In like the middle of like Sun Valley, Idaho, or wherever this
Yeah.
guy's from.
Yeah. So, anyways, but yeah, you have stories that you just never forget, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, you
So,
meet some interesting folks on flights. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
I have some great honorable mentions, but yeah, so sitting next to fat people, I think that sealed it for me right there. Like, no one wants to do that.
Seth?
All right, I'm gonna say getting up for somebody that is getting up constantly.
Yeah.
So having to
Oh,
stand up
yeah.
for someone who's like, okay, I understand. Like, if the flight is like 6 hours long, or like it depends on the duration.
That's why you
right?
get the aisle seat. because then I'm in control of my own destiny. I stand up a lot.
No, right. Yeah, you're right. You're in the aisle
What if
seat.
the guy next to you wants to get up 6 times?
It's still annoying, but I would rather be able to get up whenever I want rather than ask, hey, can I get up?
That's true.
Because Seth could say no.
No, I mean, but you're still gonna get up. You're not gonna like not. But anyways,
say no.
Yes,
yeah, you can't really say no.
You can't block the aisle. Like they say that before you take off.
So, anyways, having to get up for a person that like gets up more than they should, you know,
Yeah.
it's just like, okay, you got up to go use the restroom. Like they probably don't need to get up for a while, or the people that get up just to like get up, and you're
Seth,
just like,
sometimes
man.
people eat stuff that's not good or something, though. You know what I mean? Like, you can't fault them. Like, we've all been there when you got to go.
I mean, I guess.
No. Here's the thing, Trent. Like,
Have you ever heard of food poisoning?
just stay not
Just
in the
stay,
row.
Just stay in the row if you have to go to the bathroom.
Just sit in the toilet for an hour.
Yeah. Like, I think there's
Sorry, I got
that's true.
problems. Like, hey, I got problems, man. Go to the next
just
one.
stay in the back of the plane. People do that. I stood in the back of the plane. I was trying to put one of my daughters to sleep, but didn't want the people around me to be upset. So I stood in the back of the plane, put her to sleep, and the flight attendant's like, "Oh yeah, you're totally fine. Like if we need to buckle in, I'll let you know, but you're good."
Okay.
Like I think people do that. It's a normal thing.
But anyways, having to get
So
up
you're
more,
wrong,
having to
right?
get up more than you should for the person who needs to keep getting up, and you're just like keep getting up and sitting back down. You're just like you can't get into like a groove, I guess. In
You can't fall asleep.
Yeah, I guess it's worse if you can't fall asleep.
And the worst thing is that if you are asleep and they're like trying not to bother you, and then they start climbing over you, and you're like, you know?
Oh
what
yeah,
I'm saying?
I've had a couple bums brush against my face. Yep. Yeah.
You weren't on an airplane, though.
He was asleep and someone was climbing over him, guaranteed. That is the worst.
All
Wasn't
right.
on an
Finish this
airplane.
draft right now.
Mine is actually similar to Seth's, but it's not the people in your row. It's people not in your row who are constantly trying to get their overhead luggage.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? People who are like right on top of you getting their overhead luggage. It's like, hey, either you leave your kid's iPad in or out, but don't come and stand next to me again. You know what I'm saying?
Or put it in your carry-on or the little bag that you have.
Correct. Yeah. You know, you have someone there. They're wearing like their bellies in your face, and you're just like, please get out of my way.
It's
you know.
similar to that for me is when you're on the aisle seat, like Trent likes to do, and the person just walks by constantly, and you're like, dude, you're just like hitting my arm.
No, that's what I'm
Like,
saying.
it's the same exact thing.
People
like,
who are invading your space, and
Yeah.
I mean, your space is already invaded enough while you're on the flight. Like you shouldn't have to deal with that too. You know what I'm saying? It's like those people are like they're reaching over you, and it's like most places, you know, there's like people don't break that barrier of intimate space. Like on plane flights, I feel like that always goes away. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm off with that one. I don't know. That's
Not terrible. I have some good honorable mentions. So just to recap the third round, I had sitting next to fat people, Jordan had middle seat. I had sitting next to fat people. Seth had Seth had standing up for someone repeatedly, and Phil had luggage grabbers. There's a lot of honorable mentions out there, you know.
crying
So,
children.
Yeah.
That one doesn't bother me as much because you can, if you're smart, you have ability to tune that out with other things.
I usually bring
If you're smart, it
headphones,
doesn't
yeah.
bother me.
Should I just do the whole draft here? Everyone kind of remembers it, and there'll be visuals on there.
I think what's worse than TSA is customs.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the
Yeah.
customs line is worse than TSA.
Yeah. I think one of the things that should have been drafted on here could have been a first round pick. Pets on a plane.
Oh, Trent.
The dog,
Pets on
the
a
dog,
plane.
the dog's
Yes.
the worst.
Well,
Trent,
I mean,
pets
how
on
do
a
they
plane.
allow those on planes if they're not service?
Because
they sneak up. They have like
Emotional,
a fake.
yeah,
they have fake.
There was
Is that-
there was a cat on one of my planes, and that thing kept meowing, and it was like it smelled.
You should have punted it.
Yeah, no, it was bad. So you don't want any animals on a plane.
No.
like-
It's not a service animal.
And then there's
the
those
service
people-
animals are behaved.
What
Yeah,
about
oh,
the
yeah,
people
for
that have
sure.
the dogs and they push them in the stroller on the plane?
No, that's a
Oh,
problem too.
no.
Yeah,
No.
I think
I,
people who stand in front of the bathroom for an unnecessary amount of time. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like the same thing as luggage grabbers.
Yeah. What else is there? Shop or food carts. They don't move fast enough. Take way too long. I feel like there should be a way that can go a little faster.
That doesn't
It just
really
seems like
bother
it takes
me that
Yeah,
much.
but that's something. I think that's waiver wire worthy. Like I think it's fine that didn't get drafted. Like,
A perk is those delicious crackers, like those in-flight
crackers
graham
are
crackers.
so good.
They're like the little
so good.
biscottis.
Biscoff?
Free drinks.
Oh, yeah.
I've
Free
almost
drinks.
bought some of those Biscoffs the other day. Just seeing, they're so good.
They are so good.
I always drink ginger ale when I fly. Not a
Interesting.
soda guy, but I get ginger ale when I fly.
I love it when I get the coffee with those crackers.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Coffee, and you're
black
like,
coffee with one of those things.
Yeah.
Especially if they wake you up and they're like, would you like some coffee? And I'm like, yes, I would.
Yeah.
What movie am I going to watch at 5 a.m.?
I don't know what. There's gotta be
flying by
something.
yourself is kind of fun, though.
Yeah, you're in control of your own destiny. You can.
I'm not saying piloting the flight. I'm saying like when you're on your own, like traveling or with like without children is what I should say. Like when my wife and I travel alone, it's so much easier, nicer. The skies are always blue, even if we hit turbulence. Like it's
What
just
about
like,
What about people who leave their window open and it's like super bright? This happened to me last time. I'm trying to watch a movie.
The glare.
Everyone's windows are closed.
That's
'cause
what we said.
No,
They said that.
But it's evening. Just listen to the scenario. It's evening, sunset. Normally sunsets are beautiful. This thing is hitting the iPad across the aisle from me, ricocheting right into my face. And I'm just like, please close that thing. Like, and it's like I'm going like this. I'm trying to. The guy's just zoned out, watching, the Angry Birds movie or whatever it was he's watching. Who knows? But yeah, that was pretty bad. Like just the reflection of an iPad right in the eye. Like that. So I'm watching, one hand over my eye. But I feel like we're missing some other stuff here. There's a lot of travel stuff that losing your luggage.
Flight
Flight
delays.
oh
Flight
no,
delays.
sitting on the tarmac.
Yeah,
that's what I
that's
wanted to
sitting
do.
on the
it.
tarmac.
Dang it.
Oh,
that's what I
that's
meant to
worse.
do instead of the overhead luggage.
That's
and
why I feel
forgot.
I take notes when I do stuff like this, and so I don't forget.
When you're sitting on the tarmac for like anything longer than 10 minutes,
Oh.
I can't
I had to
stand
do
it.
one for 2 hours.
And Trent would be standing up the whole time.
Just deboard.
I haven't done that, but I should. I should.
take everyone off the
They
plane.
don't let you. They don't let you.
No, they make you sit.
They make you.
They almost make you buckle. Everyone needs to get off the plane. If it's going to be longer than 10 minutes, deboard the plane. I'm fine with that.
I've had that happen before where they deboard you on the tarmac.
Yeah, totally fine with that.
Yeah, that's no fun. Yeah, so fun. Well, hey guys, I think that does it. That was a fun draft. Remember to check us out on Monday. Remember, hey, don't be rude. Share the dudes. Really helps us out. We will see you next time. Let us know what we missed in this draft on our YouTube video. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and we will see you next time. And as always, take care.
Big twisty.
This has been another episode of the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Remember to rate, review, and follow. For more information, go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. And remember, we are sorry for absolutely nothing.